Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I am excited. Why am I excited? Because it's Wednesday. Every day is beautiful, isn't it? Because why? Because we all get to breathe and we get to inhale, exhale. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. I hope yours is starting off as beautiful as mine. And if you're being rushed, if you feel like there's so many things going on, guess what I did before I started this live event? Because I'll share some of the tools that I use. Before I started, I actually wrote down all the stuff that I need to do because it was actually weighing me down this morning. So I had to write it down. A lot of people do this. It's not just me, but writing down if you're feeling overwhelmed, it could help. If you're a teacher overwhelmed, it helps a lot. Just get it off onto the paper so you don't have to carry it on your shoulder, because we like to do that. If you're a parent, you carry it in your shoulder, in your neck, in your back. If you're doing that, I suggest writing it down. It has helped me a lot. Writing it out, what I need to do or what I have to do or what I have to get done. This will help us a lot. Now, I want to talk to you today about, yesterday at the end of last live, I said I want to talk about labels. It's because it's always been a hot topic. It's a messy topic. It's a very emotional topic for parents and teachers, because everyone who's involved, it's not easy to deal with labels. Labels can be different forms, right? Self-diagnosed label or sets labels. Like, for example, I used to call myself stupid, dumb. Those labels I gave myself. Other labels sometimes comes from your parents. Others come from your teacher. Other comes from the society. Or there's a real diagnosis that you go to professionals, and because we don't meet milestones, we're not like the other student in the classroom. We need a different learning environment, or I learn differently, or I don't have the social skills as another person in the society. Then we really have to go to a professional to get a diagnosis. Now, the problem with labels, they're good because you do need to understand what's going on, right? So they're good. But what happens is it boxes the child into that label, and then it starts focusing on what's wrong instead of what's strong. Because every one of us, we have different things that are affecting us, and some of us, those things affect us severely, keeping us from doing things, making it hard for us to do things like other people find it easy. So that's why when we start focusing on what's wrong through these labels, you know how whatever you focus on is whatever you work on and whatever your mind starts talking about. So, really, if we start focusing on what's wrong, we're going to look at all the limits that that person has. You're not able to do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do this, you're not able to do that. So it becomes very, very negative very quickly. We don't look at what they're strong at. I think if we could change that around, when someone is being diagnosed, if we can look at their strengths and then get the strengths to work towards their weaknesses, or what's wrong, if we want to call it. I don't call it what's wrong. There's nothing wrong with anyone, except that system, that child's system or that person's system is responding differently. Because our education system follows the bell curve, the milestones, at this age, we need to do this, we have this already set marks, right? Ticks, we have to put check marks. So we are boxed already, and if we don't fit it, then there's something must be wrong with you or that person. So it's always kind of came from a place of what's wrong, not what's strong. So that's the problem. So I wanted to show you how a label can help in the classroom to parents who are listening, and how a label can actually also harm. It's both, it can help and harm. So how does it help? So if your child is experiencing hard time focusing, there's ADHD or autism or any other um, differences, I'm not going to call it disability, it's just difference. If you're experiencing any sort of differences in your child and they're not reaching the milestone, or they're not as what their other peers look like in the classroom, then you can get assistance for your child. It's important to get that assistance, because otherwise they'll just sit in the classroom without no help. So that is true. By getting a proper diagnosis, your child is going to now become someone we need to pay attention to. Now, the resources are limited. Just because you went and got the diagnosis as the psych ed evaluation, it doesn't mean whatever the support that's going to be written on that document is going to be delivered. And that's the hard part. That's the hard part for parents, because every parent wants the best for their child. You went through all the hoops, all the waiting, all of the pain to get this in place. Then you don't see it being implemented to the full effect. It's not happening. Now, of course, you're going to be mad, right? Upset, mad, upset, frustrated. Because why did we do this? That's because the system, school system, doesn't have the funding to provide. Some schools have, some schools, I just heard from one of our coaches, like some schools that they're working in has like 8, 9 kids who are nonverbal, and they only have, for the school of 300 students, they only have 3 EAs, education assistants, because a teacher has to look after 26, sometimes 30 kids or 28 kids. So we do have EAs, education assistants. I have been that in my life as well. We are there to support the teacher. But if there's 300 students and in one kindergarten level, they have over 5 to 6 kids who are nonverbal who needs assistance, how can a school with 300 kids, and how can all the teachers in that school have assistance? It's not possible. Now, is it done purposefully to hurt the student or the parents or the teachers? No, there is no funding. Whatever the funding is available, they can only provide 3 EAs. So if you have an IEP, you have to have full-time service, but you might not get it. You might not get all the support that your child needs, even though it's on the IEP, which is the education plan, right? Individualized education plan. So it's frustrating, isn't it? It's very frustrating. But that frustration then can go to your child as a parent, right? If you carry that frustration, if you carry that weight, now you have a child also feeling it, and they need the support, and you need the support. So I just want to really give you, the reality is, at the end of the day, doesn't matter what diagnosis or what kind of labels that your child has been given, you still have to look at what does your child has that is so strong they can use. So instead of looking at it through the lens of what's wrong, let's look at what's strong. This way you're in control. You can look at, here's what we can do. Here's things that we can get done. Here's how we can support. Because the last thing you want your child to feel is that something is wrong with me. and I'm not capable. If they ever declare that through your feelings of carrying this weight or from someone else, they're going to shut down. That's their story now. I'm not capable. I am this label. I am this. We don't want to give them that. So, what we want to do is take the label. Yes, yes, this is it. But now what? Here's how we're going to do it. Now, this is not an easy thing. If you don't know about how a child works or how their mind works or how some of these abilities fog the ability of a child to do things, it's hard. That's why you need a blocks to flow coach, because they do the prerequisite to learning. They're going to figure this out for you. So you can find them, just DM me and I will share with you and I will match you with the right coach. That is definitely hard work. I'm not going to say it's not. If I had a child like that, it would be hard. Every child's problem is hard for a parent, right? So, so how is it helpful? So we talked about how it harms, right? It's helpful because you can get the service. It's helpful, now you understand. But still, you have to figure out now what. ADHD is a big spectrum. Autism is a big spectrum. How it affects your child is different from how it affects another child. So now what? So now what is where it becomes how you want to make it helpful or harmful. Helpful because now you understand, because anything and everything needs an understanding. Now you have to figure out, what is your child the strongest point? What are they capable? What are they doing already? That's amazing. Who are they? What is their soul print wanting to express? And begin from there, building a program. Yes, the school has a IEP, school has everything, but don't expect everything to be delivered. So I'm saying adjust your expectation. It's a good thing, because if you don't, you're going to be frustrated 24/7. And that frustration is not going to do anything to anybody more than your child. They're going to feel that frustration more than anyone else. And that's not what you're doing, right? You don't want that at all. You want the opposite. So we don't want to get into frustration. We want to stay calm, clear, confident, with conviction that my child has enough strength and power to express their soul in their uniqueness. That's what you should be saying. Then you don't want your child to take this label. This is where it becomes harmful, and use it as, I am this, I can do this. I am that, I can do that. I've seen that. It's like a badge, they put it up. Now, we don't want their labels to be used as a badge. We want to create a language, reframe it, where you may be this, but you can do all of this and this and this. These are your superpowers. Like, we need to keep reframing that. It's absolutely important. Every single day, every single activity your child does. You may have this, but you are this and this and this. Here's what you can do with that, right? Like, this acknowledging is great, but acknowledging and making it a label as a person's identity is not great. That is what a parent really should protect. Really, really protect that. And at school, get as many help as possible, but don't expect everything to happen. Because those people, the principal, the EAs, the teachers, they're all human. As I just gave you an example, 300 kids in a school with already 5 kids nonverbal in kindergarten. Even just a kindergartner who's verbal, just don't have any labels, they need assistance. Just what we call normal kids, right? I don't like using those words, but normal kids, they need assistance as well, because they're kindergartners, they're kids. So can you imagine being nonverbal and I think one of the kid that I was shared with in this school is also has a feeding tube or breathing tube. So there's lots going on. So what I'm saying is, don't they're humans. in these schools, and what they can offer is limited because of the resources and funding. So as parents, we have to do our own work, and it's not it's hard. It's hard. I want you to know it's hard because you're working, you have to take care of other kids, this is new for you. You didn't think this was going to be in your life, right? This kind of responsibility was going to be part of life, and parenting is hard on its own, but add any type of label, it's really hard. So really, really, take care of yourself. Like really feel it for yourself. Like this is hard. It's okay to say this is hard, but it's hard, but not something you cannot do. You know why? Because anything that's hard is going to make you a stronger person. That's why we have kids. That's why I love kids, because they teach us so many things I would not have explored without all the kids in my life or my own kids. I would have never explored everything that I know today. Just being me, myself, I would have never explored, because it would have just been very selfish. I would have just lived a selfish life. I would have never discovered everything I know today. It was through my students, through all the kids I've served, through all the families I've served, and as kids that I had personally in my life are who made me who I am today. So they're beautiful. So it is hard. Parenting is hard, but it's all worth it. Worth it every single minute of it. So that's labels. We talked about labels, right? So we have a special events coming up. We decided to do us with our coaches, certified licensed coaches in Blocks to Flow method. We decided that we're going to help parents because parenting is hard. It's hard now than ever before. I'm going to say that again. It's really hard now than ever before because there is so much harm, there's so much pressure, so much going on that parenting is hard. So we want to make it easy for parents. So we're hosting an event in Scottsdale, Arizona, October 18th. It's a full day event. Come join us or share with someone who you know locally or fly over. Take a day off. Take the day for yourself. Come to this event with all your weights, like all the things that are weighing you down. They're in your shoulder, they're in your neck, they're in your back, they're in your knees, wherever you store the pain and the pressure and the worry and the fear and the frustration. And especially if you have a child with any type of label, I know you carry more than anyone else. Come to that meeting, come to that event with all your weights. And we promise you, by the end of that day, when you leave, this is that top golf place in Scottsdale. At the end of the day, you're going to feel so light. You are going to walk out of that building as a different person. And that is a guarantee. That's not just I'm saying it. That is a guarantee. And if you don't feel it, guess what? There's a small fee to come to this event. We'll refund you. Why? Because I believe you will. You will actually skip out of that building. You would feel so light that you will want to fly out of that building. Because we have the solution. I've cracked the code. Not only I've cracked the code, I have coaches who are trained in this to serve you. We're coming together to serve you holistically. Make sure that you are taken care of. We have meals that we're going to provide. And when you go home, you're going to take a gift from us. And that gift has the tools that you will need in order to move forward. And we're also offering you 1 month free coaching. After the event, we don't want you to lose all of it. Go home and it just falls apart, right? You know how it is when you go to an event, you learn, and go home and you go back to your routine. We don't want you to do that. So we're going to give you free 1 month coaching valued at $1,000. That is absolutely included for you as well. So I'm inviting you to register. If you're not in the Scottsdale area, fly, drive, take that day. It's a Saturday. Take that day for yourself and come and explore. We're going to talk about many things. Of course, to be one of those topics because that's what you do. This is about parenting in flow. The event is called Parenting in Flow. That's what I'm inviting you for. So the link to register is in this video, under this video. Please click the link and join us. If you have any questions, also ask me or DM me, and I will personally reach out to you. This is October 18th of this year. I'm inviting you to Parenting in Flow event in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a full day event. There is a small investment that is there so that I want committed parents for this event. But for that, we have so many different things we're giving back to you. But on more importantly, I'm giving back to you coaching sessions for 1 month that's worth $1,000. So you are getting way more value than you're investing with us. That's our gift. And I'm only doing it. I could have made it a free event. It just being honest. Honesty is everything, right? I could have made it a free event, but I want commitment from parents to come to this and take this event seriously, because if you do, you are going to live a life without blocks, in flow. And I can only tell you, you can only know what flow feels like when you experience it. It's really hard to explain what flow is. It's blissful. Sometimes I ask on my podcast to my guests, what does flow feels like? They say blissful, happy, peaceful. Everything feels lighter. Everything feels easier. Everything feels like I can do it. Everything feels so in aligned. Everything feels like simple. These are different things that they share with me. That's what living in flow is. So if you learn to live in flow, you're going to parent in flow. If you parent in flow, you're going to lead in flow. Leading means leading your life, leading your kids, leading your family. So click the link, book that event, or share it with someone you know. And if you're like, I can't come because I'm in another state, don't worry. Just book a ticket, take the day off for you, come on Friday, leave on Saturday or Sunday. It's available. And if you have any questions, DM me. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Let's put on the lens of looking at your child through what they're strong at. Not what's wrong with them, but what are they strong in. The labels then become, it's just a label that's there, but everything else you associated with is what is their strength, what is their ability, instead of looking at it as a disability. It's their ability. Let's look at what is their ability, what is their potential wrapped into this label. If we can change that perspective, that lens, you're going to have much more success as a parent, even as a teacher. Any educators will have so much more success. Don't look at it through the labels. Look at it, not what's wrong, but what are you strong in. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, and have a blessed day.